Hello, my name is Crystal Chen, and these are my associates, Zhiyang Li, Justin Park, and Iris Xu. Today, we'll be covering myths, misconceptions, and missteps minors make about HIV/AIDS.
HIV/AIDS remains a pressing global issue in the modern world. Despite the decades of research and education surrounding the disease, many still hold misconceptions regarding the reality of how it spreads, its effects, and how it can be prevented. The objective of this lesson is to effectively communicate the history, continuity, and impact of the HIV epidemic, and to dispel misinformation regarding HIV and AIDS. We selected a focus group of 11th graders to test our curriculum, which introduces a potpourri-based approach to the otherwise stale ab initio lesson. The curriculum seeks to merge hands-on health education with the reality of online learning in 2022.
Therefore, the lesson took place over Zoom, simulating the in-person learning experience while ensuring that all participants abided by social distancing guidelines.
In preparation for the lesson, each instructor took on a different role. Iris coordinated the research and technical aspects, Justin took charge of an HIV historical appraisal, Zhiyang performed an immunological investigation to better understand the effects of the virus, and Crystal consulted social engineers to determine the best means of prevention.
On the day of the lesson, instructors logged onto Zoom early to test our technology and troubleshoot problems that arose.
Once students joined Zoom, instructors sent a URL through Zoom chat to the initial knowledge audit, a self-assessment of familiarity with the curriculum prior to the lesson. The students completed the initial knowledge audit via Google Forms.
Next, the lead instructor shared their screen and began the PowerPoint presentation. The presentation contained topics such as the origin and history of HIV/AIDS, basic virology, effects of HIV/AIDS, treatments and their development, and ways to prevent the spread of HIV. Throughout the slideshow, various activities were included to improve student engagement and gauge the effectiveness of the lesson.
A URL was shared via the Zoom chat, links to a Padlet. Students were asked to create a post containing any prior knowledge they had about HIV/AIDS. Some sample responses are shown here.
After a brief overview of the HIV/AIDS acronym, the instructors started an interactive activity called Truth or Myth. The game was integrated into the lesson with appropriate questions alongside appropriate topics, ensuring smooth transitions between nice leisure and lecture.
In this game, instructors showed a statement on a PowerPoint slide about HIV/AIDS, and the students typed in the chat either truth or myth to indicate whether they believed it to be a truth or a myth.
Students then revisited the Padlet and revised their original answers with the content they learned. Furthermore, they were encouraged to comment on other students' responses with suggestions and corrections. The collaborative approach ensured an equitable and balanced learning experience for students with varying levels of prior knowledge and social advantagement. We closed the first segment of the lesson with a brief Q&A session for students to engage with instructors and determine potential improvements for a future curriculum.
Next, we offered a 10-minute period of break time where students could take some time away from their devices.
Returning back, students played a friendly game of Kahoot, an essential activity for any group-based ab initio approach lesson, which most included content from the lesson, with an occasional entertaining extension question that remained pertinent to the topic. Students scored an average of 81%, although the temporal nature of Kahoot diminishes the statistical efficacy of this figure. The most missed questions were analyzed to determine which topics needed to be covered more effectively in following lessons.
Lastly, students completed the written assessment and final knowledge audit, both on Google Forms. In the final knowledge audit, a self-assessment of skills, students reported a 3.279-point average increase over the initial knowledge audit. The written exam consisted of 15 available multiple choice points and a 10-point essay question, requiring students to both understand and synthesize knowledge. The exam was graded on a pass-fail basis. A passing score was 18 out of 25, which 6 out of 7 students attained. Furthermore, students with a score of 23 out of 25 or higher received the mark of a distinguished, which 5 out of 7 students achieved.
The lesson concluded after 95 minutes. Based on the results of our study, we highly recommend the potpourri approach to an ab initio health lesson that was conducted here. Students capable of synthesizing novel ideas in the context of both HIV/AIDS and various other issues will be of great benefit to the pursuit of thoughtful, innovative health workers for the future of our world.
Thank you for your time.